All right, we are live. Welcome in H-Town World. You are now tuned in to The Solid Grip. I'm your host, J.R. Wilson. Alongside me, my co-host, Ping Wilson. And we are coming to you live at 5, no time for jive. We are here to entertain your inner brain. So relax your rear and allow us to soothe your ear. So we going to get straight off into this thing, Pop. We ain't going to play with it. We going to stay with it. How you doing over there? How you feeling?
Doing great out here in the city by the bay.
Yeah, I tell you what, being by the bay, I'm sure you caught some of the cool breeze that come out the bay. Because I could tell you right now, where I was burning up out there in Katy delivering today. But it's all good, man. But I don't want to spend too much time, man, gallivanting. I want to get straight off into it, man.
Okay.
So, first of all, there's a big controversial thing going on right now in the NFL, as you know, Pop, about the Rooney Rule. And for those of you who don't know what the Rooney Rule is, I thought that it's something that uh, I should enlighten you on. The Rooney Rule is basically, in a nutshell, is a rule that was made up in 2003 that that makes all owners interview minorities for head coaching positions or upper administrative positions. And all that spurred or derived from when Dennis Green from the Minnesota Vikings was fired from his job after he had winning seasons for 10 years and had his first losing season in his 10th year. And also the firing of Tony Dungy, who had winning seasons. As a matter of fact, he put that team together in Tampa Bay, who won a Super Bowl the very next year, the team that he had put together.
Right.
And it started there. And if y'all don't know what the Rooney Rule is, the word Rooney came from Dan Rooney, who used to be the owner of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Correct.
And he's the one that implemented this, and now his children have taken over. But we're gonna talk about this in addendum to that. One of the reasons why you love the Pittsburgh Steelers, Pop, is because of the Rooneys. So,
Exactly.
I mean, tell the people, man, why it is that you love the Pittsburgh Steelers, man, and what it has to do with the Rooney boys.
Well, growing up in North Louisiana, we didn't have professional football at the time. I mean, the Saints were just coming on board. And there was a school in Grambling, Louisiana, Grambling State University now, that was exactly 6 miles away from Louisiana Tech University. And in 1970, the Pittsburgh Steelers drafted a guy by the name of Terry Bradshaw. Now, I know everybody knows Terry Bradshaw, but he was the #1 overall pick in the entire draft. And he was from a place called Shreveport, Woodlawn High School. Okay? As a matter of fact, the chief, Robert Parrish, went to that same school. So, I started like, okay, I got to kind of start watching, Terry Bradshaw, because Louisiana Tech was a small school, about 10,000 students, okay? And so we're talking about the #1 draft pick in the entire league. Pittsburgh wasn't very good. I think they might have won one game. They might have been win a game, okay? Now, the year before that, and I'm going to take you back, but I'm going to bring you forward, they drafted a guy by the name of Joe Green out of North Texas State. Well,
Joe Green.
I never heard of Joe Green, but another small school. Now, stay with me now, okay? That's 2 small school kids that they drafted 1969, 1970. Okay. At the time in 1971, Grambling was just kicking. I mean, to me, they was as good a program as it was in the nation. I believe they could have beat the LSU Tigers and beat them down. I truly believe that. Because at the time, there was no blacks playing college football at LSU. There was one athlete playing college basketball, a guy by the name of Collins Temple. Okay, as a matter of fact, my graduating class, 1971, was the first year that LSU had black football players. A guy named Mike Williams was the first black football player at LSU. Okay, now stay with me. Grambling had a football player by the name of Frank Lewis. Okay, remember now, Grambling is 6 miles from Louisiana Tech. And everybody growing up in North Louisiana, anywhere in Louisiana, wanted to be like Frank Lewis. I mean, I was an offensive lineman, and I wanted to be like Frank Lewis. They tell a story about Frank Lewis that one day at football practice, he caught about 7 touchdown passes. On his way to the locker room, he had to walk by the track. He told the top track guy, said, let's get out, let's go. With his full gear on. And beat him in the hunt. Okay?
Yeah.
Went and changed clothes on his way to what they used to call the mess hall. Okay? Went by the gymnasium. They had a basketball player by the name of Chicken Red, Fred Hilton. Okay? He was tough. I mean, he was big time tough. They went in there and he played Fred Hilton in his street clothes and beat him in a game of 1-5. I'm thinking, my goodness. So Pittsburgh's first pick in the 1971 draft was a guy by the name of Frank Lewis. Okay? Stay with me now, okay? I was attending Northwestern State University in Natchitoches, Louisiana, and I had recruited a guy by the name of Sidney Thornton from Capitol High School in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Okay? And in 1974, they drafted Sidney Thornton with their first pick. Now, Rich, these are all small college football players, all from Louisiana, the smallest state maybe with the exception of Rhode Island, but a really, really small state, a really, really poor state. So after that, man, I mean, I'm in. I mean, I'm already liking them and stuff. I'm in. So let's fast forward, okay? After Bill Cowher left the Steelers and stuff, the Steelers were looking for a new coach, and so this guy Mike Tomlin, name comes up. It's Mike Tomlin. They had Russ Grimm and other guys that had been played for the Steelers, coached for the Steelers. They said Mike Tomlin blew the Rooney family away. And so not only did the Rooney Rule come from Dan Rooney, hey, they followed up and they hired Mike Tomlin. Yeah, I mean, basically ain't nobody. So you get my drift? Small college football players, a guy that I think he had been on the staff with, we just talked about it. Tampa Bay's, used to be Tampa Bay's head coach.
Tony Dungy.
Tony Dungy. He was on Dungy's staff, right. And then I think he was Minnesota's DC and stuff. But basically, didn't have a lot of experience. But they gave him an opportunity. I'm going to tell you one more thing, Rich, and I'm going to get off of this. In 1974, they drafted a guy out of Tennessee State named Jefferson Street Joe Gillum. Okay? Now, Joe Gillum was a great quarterback, but even in college, they talked about Joe and some of the drug problems he had. Not only did the Rooney family draft him, coming off of a Super Bowl championship in 1973, he was the starting quarterback over Terry Bradshaw for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Yeah. Now, hey, man, that more than touched my heart. That more than moved me and stuff because, and my partner, Sidney Thornton, bless his heart, he's real low sick now, but he used to always talk about the Rooney family. He used to say, Ping, he said, man, this is a great family, man. So these white guys, man, they don't care, they don't see the color of your skin, man. They see your ability. And so, man, I was hooked after that. Okay. I mean, hey, listen, everybody asks me to this day, man, well, why are you not a Saints fan? Well, I like the Saints, but why couldn't the Saints do that? Why couldn't they draft guys out of LSU and Grambling and Southwestern and Northwestern? They didn't do it, man. If you go and look at their roster in their existence, they have drafted a lot of kids out of Louisiana. But if you go look at the Pittsburgh Steelers roster, over the years, they have drafted small college players from the SWAC and the other small colleges, I mean, leagues all around the country. Torpedo, okay, Donnie Shell going in the Hall of Fame. They didn't draft him, but they signed him as a free agent out of South Carolina State. He's going in the Hall of Fame with Jack Lambert and Jack Ham and all those guys who were all in that draft. So, yeah, man, that's the reason why, Rich.
And that's some rich history right there, man. When I've heard you talk about it before, that was actually a little bit more in depth than than I've heard it before, man. There's a proudness of because of the unfortunate circumstances in the country that we live in right now. And I love my country. This is the land of the free, the home of the brave. Nevertheless, there are many things that, many indiscretions, many things that I have taken umbrage with when it comes to our country. And that's just, that's the modern day man living. But we bring these things up about the Rooney Rule and about the Rooney boys, not so much so that they show favor towards blacks, but just that giving that equality, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Opening up another door for equality, for blacks to come in, or so-called African Americans to come in, because they're qualified, not just because, hey, let me throw you a bone
Exactly.
and you can get on in here. So one of the things that is being proposed right now in the NFL, just to get straight off into it, is um, the NFL will propose a plan to league owners to receive incentives, including higher draft picks if teams hire minority candidates. Now, here's the thing, Pop, that I have a problem with when it comes to this. It's because of the oppression of blacks in this country, um, since the 17th and 16th century. Um, Things have continued to unfold. Equality has continued to, I think, grow and evolve. But it's always gonna feel like there's a bone being thrown.
Exactly.
And it's a little embarrassing to say, hey, we gon' one of the incentives we'll give you if you hire a black coach or a black administrator is we'll give you a higher draft pick. And it makes me think of this being more of a ploy than it is kind of opening a door. I don't know if I would have came this way, because it seems as though it's like, hey, look, let's hire Ping Wilson to be our general manager. Hey, look, we'll fire him in the offseason. We just need an extra draft pick. We spent 2 ones on this quarterback last year. Let's hire him and we'll find somebody else to replace him. And they can do that. They can do that. And that bothers me for a bevy of reasons. One is, first of all, there's not a lot of black ownership, period, in professional sports,
Exactly.
especially relative to the NFL. There are no black owners, not one. No, not one. But I found out an interesting statistic. Can I interest you, Pop, in a factoid?
Go right ahead, Rich.
Okay. There are only, on the record right now, 4 black American billionaires in America right now that are registered billionaires.
Oh wow.
Okay. Only 4. Only 4. And I thought there were more than that. I had no clue. I had no clue. And so when I was indignant about there not being black owners in the NFL, well, one of the problems is that with there not being enough billionaires that are blacks, it's very difficult to get a team, especially nowadays, when it comes to purchasing teams, because teams will be 2.2 million, 1.8 billion, 2.2 billion, 1.8 billion, and a lot of billionaires have their money tied up in stocks.
Exactly.
And so with there not being any, not being many black billionaires, there hasn't been really that opportunity that's come forth. Now you've had uh blacks that have tried to come forth and kind of do, co-ownership.
Right.
Nevertheless, it's the year 2020 and there are still no black owners in the NFL. And I believe the NFL is made up of a conglomerate and made up of individuals who, work as a fraternity, because our president, President Donald Trump, tried to actually purchase a team some years back and he was denied. Okay, for whatever reason that is. But in this particular segment, we are speaking of uh, you know, ownership when it comes to blacks. Now there are 2 people of color that own teams. You have Kim Pagula, and if I destroyed your name, I apologize. But she's the
Really.
co-owner of the Buffalo Bills, and then you have Shad Khan, who is the owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Correct.
Nevertheless, neither one of those individuals are black. Okay, Shad Khan is Middle Eastern, and Kim Pagula is of Oriental descent. Okay, and so we don't have any of those, and the question is always going to be begged: what is there collusion when it comes to blacks in ownership or blacks in administrative offices or blacks as head coaches? As a matter of fact, Pop, we only have three blacks for head coaches right now,
Exactly.
and that is Mike Tomlin for your Pittsburgh Steelers,
Right.
okay, Anthony Lynn for I wanted to say San Diego Chargers. Los Angeles Chargers is stupid. It's a stupid thing to say, okay, but yeah, Anthony Lynn, and then you have Brian Flores in Miami. And I think that it's not about why y'all always making it a black thing. It's not about that. As we opine on this, it is my opinion that it's not about us saying it's a black thing. It's about think about the demographic of the NFL.
Exactly.
Okay. The demographic is not mixed. Okay. It's the majority and the minority. Okay. And I just I do take umbrage with that, Pop, because there should be more opportunities, and I don't think those opportunities should come via, hey, we're gonna throw you a bone and give you a high draft pick. How you feel about that?
Well, Rich, I want to back up to something you said, and you're exactly right. And I didn't know those numbers either. But if there are only 4 black billionaires in the United States of America, I can name 2: Oprah Winfrey and Michael Jordan. And Michael Jordan, by the way, is a owner, majority owner of the NBA. And if the criteria for owning an NFL team is that you have to be a billionaire, it serves to right that we don't have any. Okay.
Right,
Now,
right.
I know the other one of the other ones, the gentleman, I can't call his name, but he's the one that paid for the student loans for those kids over in Atlanta. I think I
Yeah, I
can't
know
think
what
of
you're talking
the
about.
dude over there and stuff, but I
I don't
saw,
know his name either. Yeah,
yeah,
I know what you're talking about though.
that's 3. And so, maybe he's not interested in owning a NFL team. And okay, now let me say this. I'd look for LeBron James
Hmm.
and his organization to one day not only own a NBA team, but an NFL team. I really look. That's where look to see that's where he's going with it. But now about your question about throwing us a bone, that's exactly what the NFL is doing. They're throwing us a bone.
Yeah.
And as I told you off the air, Rich, if you want to really make this thing worth it,
Mm-hmm.
hey, make it a first round pick. Make it a first round pick. Just to say, uh, the Chicago Bears. Okay, let's just say Chicago Bears hire Andre Ware as their head coach next year.
Yeah.
Okay, give them the 16th or the 17th or the 18th pick in the first round. Okay, your Houston Texans, Rich. What if the O'Brien family um, fire him? Okay, and let's just say you make uh, the ESPN guy Redditch your general manager, and let's just say we make J.R. Wilson your head coach.
All
We'll
right.
give the Houston Texans the 16th pick and the 33rd pick. In other words, it's not a 32 picks, but make it a compensatory pick. Then you're doing something. Then you saying something. You're not just throwing us a bone like that. But the third round, for if you hire a black coach, you move up 5 picks. If you hire a general manager, you move up 16 picks. And if you keep them, say 3 years, you move up a few more picks. That's not a bone, man.
Yeah.
Perfect, man. I mean, listen, for everybody who got that $1,200 stimulus, I am happy. I didn't get mine. Maybe I won't get one. Maybe I won't. And I know it helped a lot of people. But hey, man, that's throwing a bone to those people out there who paying rent and rent's $1,500 and they've already missed a month.
Yeah.
Throw them 10 grand, man. You won't have these lines of people lining up for food and stuff. Again, I am not ungrateful, man. Okay, and I am happy. Both my daughters got one. You got one. Mo got one. And so I'm happy about that. But again, man, I mean, what really can a poor person buy with $1,200? I mean, when
Yeah.
you got to put food on the table, man. You got to put
Yep.
gas in the car.
Yep.
These are essentials, man. I
Yeah.
mean, why can you go and get a 2-bedroom apartment in Houston for less than $1,200?
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying, man. Is
And
hey,
and and, and here's the thing. I want to interject on you, Pop, that just to touch on something that you said, that the thing about it is I'm of the small percentile of individuals. Yes, I'm glad that they sent the stimulus check. And I wouldn't even call it a stimulus, it's more of a rescue check. But I'm of the small percentile of individuals who feel as though, okay, well, there's $500 million that's allocated to basically, the White House, and it could be used at their discretion, as opposed to, the rest of that being divvied out. So individuals who have rent to pay, mortgage to pay, or to live, to buy groceries, are able to do so. You know what I mean? Are able to do so continuously until this thing abates. And right now, because everybody's being let back out, little by little, people are going to contract the virus. People are going to die from the virus, and they're going to have another shelter in. It's the inevitability of that happening is before us. And so, relative to the NFL, I'm not against the first round draft pick. I do think that's a good idea, but there's always going to be this hanging fruit that says, bones, 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 right? It's just like Black History Month, right? We got a whole month. Then it's like, hey, here's your month, shut up.
right.
You know what I mean? And it's
Example of what you're talking about, Rich. Back in 1977, Shell Oil and most of the oil companies
mhm,
were beginning to hire blacks. And so Shell was hiring 300 people, okay? And they had mandated, because of affirmative action, that they were going to hire 50 blacks,
right.
okay? And hey, your pop was in that number. And I was happy, baby, because let me tell you,
Yeah.
you got at a plant. We talk about a lifetime job. As a matter of fact, I got a partner out there, Damon Armstrong. Hey, Damon, if you listen to the show, dog, 42 years is incredible, man.
Wow.
Incredible. We came in the plant together in 1977. But Rich, what happened after about 1 year was that a lot of the brothers were being fired, man. And this what was going on, man. They were finding marijuana in their cars. And I'm thinking, what
The
is going
company?
on? Let me tell you, man. Let me tell you, they were finding that, in other words, cats were getting walked to the gate and fired, and they're saying, "Hey, we found a bag of marijuana in your car." Now, we were smoking. I ain't gonna lie, but it was just one guy, man, that didn't smoke,
Yeah.
and we know he didn't smoke because we'd get off from work, man, and we go by my crib. I stayed in Pasadena, and we would get card game, domino games going, man. As a matter of fact, your Aunt Marcia's husband, easy, man. We get off from work, dog. A couple cases of beer, man, and some, we got a bag. We party. We having a good time, right there in Pasadena. But this one guy, man, named Mike Wilson, didn't smoke, man. He didn't do nothing. This was a great guy, man, and they found a bag of marijuana in his car. No, man.
Yeah.
No, they planted that on him, dog.
Yeah. I know where you're going. Yeah.
And you know what? He filed a lawsuit and he got his job back. It took him
Oh
about
wow.
a year, but the guy was clean, man. The guy was clean. So, but it was happening to brothers. Them same 50 brothers, man, that got hired. And about a year later, man, 20, 25 of them were gone, man. So exactly, they threw us a bone.
Right, right. That's what it is. It's
They threw us a
it's
bone.
always gonna be that way, because here's the thing, Pop. If I have a company, okay, and I want people to work for me that has this attitude that I have set a precedence for with myself, I want them to have the same drive, the same goals, the same aspirations, the same wanting to move forward amicably within the company. I'm not gonna look at, I need to make sure they black.
Exactly.
I'm gonna look at female, male, white, black, Asian, Indian, whatever. if you can do the job the way that I require it, the standards in which I have set a precedence for with myself in the company, you're gonna be the individual that I'm gonna hire for the job. And that's all I'm getting at. You know what I mean? It's
Exactly.
about
Rich.
yeah,
I mean,
it's a go ahead.
no, what I was going to say, it made me think about something. And I mean, I just want to give kudos to this person. Uh, our principal at Goose Creek Memorial High School, Miss Jackson. Uh, she saw fit to hire Shannon Carter as our new football coach and athletic coordinator after hiring a black man before him. And I don't know what it is, her vision or what it is, but Shannon Carter is going to be one of the outstanding high school football coaches, not only in the state of Texas, in America.
Yeah.
You can bet your dollar on that. And then he went and hired my boy Jamal Heyman to be the head basketball coach. Trust me, you're gonna hear about him. And I
Yeah.
can't give out my boy Mac Greenidge and stuff, who all Mac wanted was an opportunity. So what I'm saying is sometimes somebody got to see something in you. It's just like Alvin Brooks when he hired me at U of H to be an assistant basketball coach. He saw me at a tournament in Lubbock, Texas. And he came by my room, man. He said, "Hey, man, have you ever thought about getting into coaching?" I'm like, "No, man. I work at Shell Oil Company, man. I mean, I'm making buku dollars and stuff. I mean, I love coaching these AAU kids and stuff." But little did I know, man. Little did I know. He told me, he said, "Listen, man, if I ever get a job, if I ever get a job, man, as a head coach, I'm gonna hire you." Well, about 5 or 6 years later, man, this guy got the job at the University of Houston and hired me. He didn't
Wow.
hire me because of the color of my skin.
Yeah.
He hired me because, hey man, we went to the Lubbock, Texas, and I had the bronze team. You had the gold, you had the silver, I had the bronze. The
Right.
gold and the silver team done got their Keysters kicked. We wearing people out in Lubbock, Texas, okay? And I'm not sitting here bragging about little Jimmy Wilson, okay, being a
Yeah.
great coach. I had some great players, and I knew how to motivate those kids and stuff to play,
Yeah.
man. And they left it all on the floor for me. I wasn't one of these Bobby Nice kind of coaches. I was more or less a Bum Phillips kind of coach. Hey, dog,
Okay.
hey, listen, man, I need about 50 tonight, man. And, I need about 50.
Yeah. That'll do it.
I mean, I'm
That'll
serious,
do it.
man.
Yeah.
I mean, if he didn't get 50, he was sure going at it, buddy. Because I know
Yeah.
if he got 50, I didn't need the guys to score 2 more points. We're going to win, man.
Right.
Score
Right.
points and stuff.
Right.
That's the kind of kids that I coached and stuff. And that's why I was able to get the job at U of H and stuff, because Brooks saw something in me. So that's all I'm saying, man. Again, thank you, Susan Jackson. If you listen out there, somebody from Susan Jackson's family listen, hey, trust me, you finna see your athletic program go to the next level, because, hey, Shannon Carter is a freaking genius, and he is a people lover, and most of all, he is a man of God. He loved the Lord with all his heart and soul. But go ahead, Rich. I'm taking up too much time tonight, man. You got me fired up, brother.
Nah, man, it's all good, man. I mean, I know this is a controversial subject, and I just wanted to be clear, that look, it's not about pro black or pro any race. It's about, hey, hire the right man for the job.
All the right, man.
You don't have to make it a situation where you throwing bones, uh, you know, like Native Americans having casinos and blacks having the month of February. It ain't about that. As a matter of fact, I believe it is of my belief that the reason why a black president finally came in to the incumbency of the presidency is because money. Money, man, money. That them green dead presidents is a motivator, okay, and it breaks down walls, and I think a lot of those individuals who carried those paradigms of separating two races saw that, hey, we can make money together. We can do things to create revenue and businesses that are lucrative, and we can move forward that way. And then relationships begin to develop betwixt those two individual races. And people started seeing that, hey, if I cut your arm and I cut my arm, red is coming out. Blue might be on the inside, but when that blood hit the air, that oxygen turns that blood red, and we bleed the same. You know what I'm saying? And so that's what it's about for me, Pop. Yes, it is a crying shame of the minute individuals in the NFL that are coaches and that are in the that are administrators. But there's a better way to go about it than making an addendum to the Rooney Rule.
Exactly.
Okay, and although I respect the Rooney Rule, I respect the premise of it. That it was a start, it was a door opening, and I think that door needs to be opened continuously, not create another door that you crack open. Just keep opening the one that you open, and then realize that it don't come down to this right here, it comes down to this right here, what's in
Exactly.
between the ears.
Exactly.
And so everybody out there listening, this is not a pro-black segment, okay? We just stating the real, okay? We stating the facts. Facts are facts, okay? It's what it is. It ain't, we work through it, okay? It's not, we not hanging on the fact that, slavery and black people were oppressed and all that. We pressing forward. That's what we doing. That's what everyone should be doing. And I was always taught that hard work does not go unnoticed. And so when you are working hard, eventually those doors will continue to open, because those relationships will be broken down. As far as the walls that are up with ethnicity groups will be broken down when a relationship is developed, and the benefit from one another grows, and that's what's been happening over time. And I just want to say this before we get out of here: two things. One, I believe in every word, every line, every jot, every precept that is written in the Word of God. And so I do believe that in the end times, that ethnic groups will be against ethnic groups. Nevertheless, um, as we continue to grow and evolve, um, relationships will be developed that has nothing to do with the color of our skin or the coarseness of our hair, slickness of our hair, anything like that, but the qualification and the way in which we walk. The second thing I want to say is, we have not said this segment. I want to thank all the first responders out there. The stories that I've heard of individuals that work in hospitals and having to deal with those patients and sending them home after 3 days. And, they've created even a cardboard hospital bed that turns into a coffin. When people die, they can just, kind of open up the box, and then they lower down into the box and use it as a coffin to keep from spreading the virus. It's crazy out here. And we want to thank each and every first responder, nurse, nurse practitioner, doctors, sanitation, anyone who is involved that's on the front lines of this, crazy, mysterious, and dangerous adventure that you guys have been on for the last 2 or 3 months. We thank y'all. Be safe.
Rich, I just
Go ahead.
piggyback on what you're saying, man. Absolutely. Um, so some of you who don't know, I'm an Uber driver, and hey, wear your mask, people. Okay.
Yeah,
I mean, I know it's uncomfortable. It's hard to breathe out of it, but hey, it works.
yeah,
Stay 6 feet from the next person.
yeah.
Okay. Keep your hands clean. Okay. Don't put your hands in your eyes and stuff until you've washed your hands. Hey, let's continue to practice those things that the CDC put out. Listen, I don't care what anybody's saying. Donald Trump, Abbott, or whoever it is. I don't care whoever it is. The facts are the facts. Science says that if you do these things, that your chances of contracting this disease are going to go down. And that's what we need, people. Don't take for granted. I mean, I'm out there and I see people not wearing masks, and I see people, not having on gloves, and all up on each other and stuff like that. And it's frightening to me. A friend of mine told me today, say his wife got ready to go in Lowe's, and she said she walked in the store and nobody in there had on a mask. She turned around and walked out.
It's
God,
crazy.
we're not through with this. This thing's not over. We got to continue to practice those things that got us these lines flat as they are, because trust me, this thing can come back overnight.
Right, right. So for me, J.R. Wilson, For my father and co-host Ping Wilson. Again, we coming to you live at 5. Thank you for all of those who have tuned in and will tune in. Like, comment, subscribe. Let us know how you feel about it. We're going to keep on bringing you our expert analysis because we are here to entertain your inner brain. This is The Solid Grip. Y'all take care out there and y'all be safe.